So we'll begin the first session. Now, Dr. Ganesh Shankar, Professor and Head of the Yoga Education Department, Dean School of Education Studies, Dr. Hari Singh, Gaur Central University, Sagar, will be delivering his session on Yoga for Health, Happiness and Harmony. Dr. Ganesh Shankar Giri, he is a professor at School of Education Studies in the Department of Yoga in Hari Singh Gaur University. He has been the Director for Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India from 2002 to 2003. He specializes in yoga psychotherapy, Indian philosophy, physical education. He is having an extensive experience of teaching more than 30 years and also more than 25 years administrative experience. He has been a member for many of the organizations like a member, peer team, NAC committee, expert member for giving accreditation mechanism, CCR1, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. He's also been peer inspection committee member, Madhya Pradesh Uच्च Shiksha Anudan Ayog, Bhopal. He has extensively traveled various countries such as USSR, Finland, Austria, China, Ukraine, Portugal, Italy, Russia, Iran, Athens, Morocco, and Serbia. He has been the member of Board of Studies and Selection Committee for various universities like Gurukul Kangri University, Haridwar, Himachal Pradesh University, Simla, Banaras Hindu University, Mangalore University, and HS Gaur University. He is having the affiliation as an expert study committee for more than 15 universities. And now he will be delivering his session on Yoga for Health, Happiness and Harmony. Sir, the virtual platform is over to you.
Can you hear me? Thank you for giving my long introduction. I am here in Sagar since last more than 35 years. I am very much thankful and honored to attend this remarkable 2 days national seminar in hybrid mode on yoga, especially yoga in new education policy, which is being organized from 10 June 2020 by this department, the Department of Yogic Science of Mangalore University. My sincere thanks to Professor K. Krishna Sharma for inviting me and delivering my talk online to share my views on this important occasion during the national seminar. We have good relations since last more than 20 years on personal and academic grounds. I remember his first visit to CCRYN when I was in CCRYN in New Delhi in 2002 with his entire staff and students during his study when I was director there under the Ministry of Health. Now it is a separate Ayush Ministry, Government of India. Eminent experts in the field of yoga and allied subjects will be speaking and discussing researches on various aspects of yoga and also the importance of yoga during these few days, coming sessions, you can say, today and tomorrow. And we have been also organizing so many workshops, camps, in order to celebrate the International Yoga Day. We are having the 3 months countdown period. Since then, we are all celebrating the International Yoga Day by the information and the and this is just Ayush Ministry and UGC is giving the directions to celebrate this International Yoga Day. I am also glad that this seminar is being sponsored by UGC and Inter-University Center for Yoga and taking initiative. These two bodies are taking initiative since last few years. On this occasion, I congratulate Professor K. Krishna Sharma and his entire team for their continuous efforts for organizing such a beautiful and systematic seminars, workshops, and conferences and a series of lectures successfully. All these experts, all these efforts are not only to the department but also to the university and also to the nation. I also congratulate the Vice Chancellor and the Registrar Dr. P.L. Dharma, the Registrar of Mangalore University for their moral and technical support for organizing this seminar. The suggestions and outcomes of this seminar will definitely be very useful for all humanity, which is the theme of this year's International Day of Yoga 2022. And I hope after the seminar, all lectures and presentations will be published in the form of book by the university authorities for future benefit of the society and the students. I once again thanks and congratulate Professor Krishna Sharma and his entire team for organizing such a nice program at national level. And here I was just listening that there are some participants from foreign also, so it is an international level, will definitely be useful for the future generation to come in the field of yoga. Now I come to my topic, that is yoga for health, harmony and happiness. These three words are very important and these words denotes the aim of yoga, the objectives of yoga. We are doing yoga only for nowadays for holistic health, for harmony, for happiness. In the beginning, I can assure you all that health, harmony, and happiness through yoga is definitely improved as far as scientific researches and studies have shown through so many findings. Moreover, our traditional texts also are of the view that regular practice of yoga in a holistic way can lead, sorry, holistic way can lead a person to happy and healthy life. In the inaugural session also, so many eminent speakers have told about the importance and benefit of yoga in terms of achieving holistic health. Holistic health includes physical, physiological, psychological and spiritual dimensions of human being. First scientific research in yoga was started by Swami Kuvalyanand at Kaivalyadhama Yoga Institute, Lonavala in 1924 and published in the Yoga Mimamsa Journal. Since then, so many researchers in the field of yoga are still going on throughout the world and efficacy of yoga practices have been proved by their positive results. So the researches have shown results with regards to improvement in health, harmony and happiness through yoga. I myself have been during my tenure at CCRYN in New Delhi, where I, on behalf of the Government of India, used to give scientific projects to eminent yoga experts and allied institutions like Nimhans, AIMS, Kaivalyadhama, S. Vyasa, and other universities and medical institutions. They all have shown positive results in their different researches related to yoga and health. And records are still with the Government of India in Ayush Ministry. Such findings I have personally felt in my university at Sagar and in collaborative researches with other countries like Russia, China, Japan, and many European countries. How this research is in India in yoga work, I shall now discuss here. Now, first of all, I would like to tell you about health. What is health? Sam dosha, sam dhatu, samagnischa, malah kriya, prasannatmendriya mana, swasth ityabhidiyate. It is written in Susrut Samhita in Ayurveda text, the holistic definition of health. In the light of these meaning, swastha is defined as bodily state in which various doshas, that is vata, pitta, kapha, dhatus, rasa, rakta, etc., agnis, the gastric fires, etc., perform their functions efficiently in integrated manner at their own site for the welfare of the organism to cause the efficient disposal of waste products, that is stool, urine, sweat, etc., and sense of well-being at physical, sensual, mental, and spiritual levels. There are three main aspects of health. That is, first one is promotive, and second is preventive, and then the curative or therapeutic. In promotive aspect, we just practice yoga just to just to promote our health, just to increase the efficiency, the improve the immune system, improve the functions of all systems of our body, so that they can work harmoniously and happiness and comfortably, and so that we can do more work for longer time. And the second one is preventive. We can prevent from so many disorders by practicing yoga practices. And the third aspect is curative. We can, if there is a disorder due to some circumstances, then we can at somewhat we can cure and we can control this disorder, and there are some limitations in this, and we cannot say that we can cure the particular disorder 100%, but we can improve, we can control, we have the control over the disorder. So these are the main three aspects of health. And there are so many misconceptions about yoga also. Some people understand that yoga is a therapy, yoga is related to saints, yoga is not for a ordinary person, the householder, but it is only for a selected few. There, yoga is associated with the idea of supernatural or linked with miracles. Yoga is equated with mysticism, black magic, or various types of mortifications. Yoga is a system of therapy, as I have already told you. Yoga is a system of philosophy. Some people understand that yoga is nothing is to be done with us, and only it is a system of philosophy dealing with metaphysical theories about the universe. Yoga is just a system of exercise. All these misconceptions indicate that most of the people are unable to see yoga as a whole concept, but are only aware of the fragment of its potential. So before going to the actual definition or going to know what is yoga, these I have mentioned the misconceptions. We have to remove these misconceptions before understanding the yoga. So now word yoga signifies the state of highest level of consciousness. It is equilibrium. It is a highest level of equilibrium. It is a highest level of integration. It is a highest or absolute transcendental health. On or in other ways, we can say it is a highest level of health. We can say holistic health. It is a highest level of harmony. It is a highest level of happiness. These are the aims and objectives of yoga. It is a state. We can say these are the state which we have to achieve through the methods of yoga. So the second way of understanding yoga is a method. It is a technology. It is a means. It is a technique. It is a substance. It is a phenomenon that are used to attain the aforesaid highest state of spiritual transformation. Actually, yoga is dealing with the spirituality. So before this, all the states which I have mentioned earlier, these all are related to the spiritual state. If you are talking about the highest level of health, then it is equal to spirituality, what we understand. And the harmony, highest level of harmony and happiness. When we are the happiest, we are happy inner from the inner side, then it highest level of happiness is the state, and it is also called a state. And when the techniques which we are using, maybe Hatha yoga, maybe Raj yoga, maybe Gyan yoga, maybe Karam yoga, maybe the techniques of Hatha yoga like asanas, pranayama, meditation, whatever we use to achieve these states of uh, highest level of health, happiness, and harmony. These are all called yoga. So the state as well as the means as well as the end. The state, we can say that it is the end, it is the objective, it is the state which we have to achieve. This is the actual meaning of yoga. It is true that yoga is ancient. In fact, its origin is shrouded in antiquity. Yoga emphasizes that mind influences the body more than the body influences the mind. The yoga system of Patanjali, which is also known as Raj Yoga, is a way of life and a set of practices for regulation of mind to achieve the highest goal of yoga. That is, Kaivalya. Patanjali has prescribed eightfold path for achieving the goal of Kaivalya. So this Kaivalya state is just equal to the highest level of health, highest level of harmony, highest level of happiness. Traditional yoga can be found in Vedas, Upanishads, Ayurveda, Bhagavad Gita, Vasishtha Samhita, and Patanjali Yoga Sutra of Maharishi Patanjali, Hat Pradipika, Grand Samhita, Hat Ratnavali. All these are the yogic texts, these are the traditional texts from where we get the aim of yoga and the various techniques of yoga, methods of yoga. Different yogic texts have explained various methods, various means to achieve the goal of yoga. In the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, he has described the eight path program. First of all, external yoga for psychophysical preparation. Preparatory stage for psychophysical preparation, that is yama and niyamas. Maintenance of external or social ecology to establish a peaceful harmonious and congenial social environment. Fleshhood, violence or injury to others, dependence on others' earning, violation of inner laws of being, attachment to material possessions. These are some niyamas or abstinences. And the second is, these are also called the social hygiene, the method of social hygiene. The second is niyamas, observance of self-applications, maintenance of internal or personal ecology, health, balance, harmony, and happiness in one's own body, mind, intellect, complex, inner or out, purity, an optimistic approach to life problems, self-discipline in life, studious habits, reverence for the divine or the spiritual. Then the intermediate stage is conscious and systematic development and application of prana. That is asana. It includes the asanas, pranayamas, and pratyahar. It is an intermediate state. Pranayama means practice to bring about the regulation and control and rhythm in breathing. And asanas practice to achieve stability and comfort in the body postures. And the pratyahar is the withdrawal of senses and control over them. And the final stage is called internal yoga. These are the three stages of Ashtanga yoga. First is preparatory stage, then intermediate state, then the final state, that is internal yoga. Dharana, it is a concentration holding to on to one object, spot, or idea. Immediate feeling of internal region of the body, that is central part of navel, the heart, tip of nose, tip of tongue, and light within the head. So these are the techniques how we can practice meditation or dharana. Fixation of mind through a particular sense, withdrawal of other senses, characteristics of processes, interruption caused by the intrusion of any other function, similar drop of water. And the last is dhyan and samadhi, intent, observation, continuation of attention and contemplation to size hold the and the identify itself with the object, not only of mind but final degree of mind, me. Samadhi, the state of collected absorption, report of rupture, characteristics of process, flow of consciousness, continuous like flow of oil or honey. And these are the main parts of Ashtanga Yoga. Through Ashtanga Yoga, we can achieve the holistic health, the highest level of health, highest level of this harmony as well as happiness. And the second main text of Hatha Yoga. The techniques of Hatha Yoga have been practiced for thousands of years, mainly for the sake of final goal of liberation from cycle of birth and the pain associated with it. These techniques were intended to influence the mind more than the body. With the Hatha yogis who flourished in comparatively later times in the history of yoga, maybe about 15th century AD, there were there was a greater emphasis on the body at that time. Their, their ultimate aim was also the same, namely the attainment of the state of samadhi, but their means were more suited to the abilities of common men. Hatha yoga is a holistic system, does not consist of mere kriyas, asanas, pranayamas, bandhas, mudras, and meditation, etc., but lays great stress on the control of diet, social attitude, and personal habits so as to bring about the beneficial changes in the whole of metabolic process. It is truly a integrated approach, treating one man or the society or the humanity as a whole. Yoga now, the one more thing in yoga nowadays is very much popular, that is yoga as a therapy. Strictly speaking, therapy is not a proper field of yoga. However, Patanjali mentions vyadhi means disease, which he considers as a hindrance to personality integration, but he never refers to the treatment of disease simply because of his approach is holistic rather than analytical. That is, he prefers to integrate rather than occupy himself with the system as symptoms of the disintegration. Throughout the many years of research into yoga therapy at Kaivalya Dhama, many discoveries were made about the therapeutical effects on certain ailments. Later attempts were made by many organizations and individuals both in India and abroad. Yoga therapy, its basic principles and methods by Swami Kuvalyananda and Dr. S.L. Vinekar was published by Government of India in 1961, was distributed in several countries including socialist, and was even translated in Polish language also. Nowadays, yoga and psychotherapy is also very popular. It is very interesting to note that historically it was the psychoanalytic writer General Dean Coster who, in Classic Yoga and Western Psychology 1934, first apprised the therapeutical potentials of yoga and presented in elaborate comparison of Freudian psychoanalysis and the Patanjali Yoga. He compared the psychoanalysis with the Patanjali Yoga. In a sense, she anticipated the contemporary interest in yoga as a psychotherapeutic system. The approach of yoga encompassing moral and social discipline, relaxation, breathing, and control throughout thought by the meditation, etc., may well provide many valuable psychotherapeutic methods if approached by the analyst. Coster states with the conviction that the idea on which yoga is based are universally true for mankind, and the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali contains the information that some of the most advanced psychotherapists of the present day are ardently seeking. No wonder that Swami Rama, Swami Ajay Valentine, Neuroberger, and others in their scholarly pursuits and therapeutic work developed a holistic therapeutic system based on the yoga. In the conclusion, I would like to say that Indian tradition, scientific research, and clinical experiences all point out that yoga practices are probably the most important and effective self help tool available to men or to the society. The importance of yoga is coming into light in the West in comparative analysis of different systems by psychologists to find out meaningful answers to some problems of life. We seem to be very close to behavior, technology, and self reliance in the domain of yoga. The main principle of yoga therapy is that it seems to establish the homeostasis in the organism as a whole. These endeavors have been leading to the development of principles and procedures separating yoga more or less from its mystical and metaphysical spheres and perfecting it on secular and scientific grounds. To conclude, we can say that science has and can give us great comforts and help to discover the physical universe, yet more may help in increased efficiency, maybe this superset intellect, but certainly not the wisdom to lead a happy, harmonious, and um, uh, healthy life and peaceful life, the ultimate goal of humanity. That is the ultimate goal of the humanity. Therefore, the science and the art of yoga should not only be fully understood by continuously practiced, nay lived as has been done by seers, to name a few: Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Swami Ram Shukhanand Das Ji, Ram Sukha Das Ji of recent past, apart from the great Buddha, Mahavir, Guru Nanak Dev, Kabir, and many more of ancient India. In fact, we shall have to admit that yoga begins where the science ends. So at the end, once again, I congratulate and thanks all the organizing committee of the seminar for inviting me and share my views and on the important, very important theme. Through yoga, everybody will have a good health, harmony, and happiness in life. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, माँ कश्चित् दुख भाग भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। थैंक यू वंस अगेन। थैंक यू।